and gentlemen, on day one of Navratri, as India steps into the festive season, another festival has just been added to the calendar, the Savings Festival. Yes, sweeping rate cuts on over 375 everyday goods mean lighter bills, heavier wallets and brighter smiles for every Indian household. On the day of GST 2.0 rollout, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called it a double bonanza. GST reductions now and a hike in income tax exemption limits earlier. A true festive hamper that cuts expenses, boosts savings and puts 2.5 lakh crore rupees back into the hands of the people. As the reforms take effect, Prime Minister urged people to take the Swadeshi route to pave the way for prosperity.
Next generation जीएसटी रिफॉर्म्स लागू हुए हैं। जीएसटी बचत उत्सव की शुरुआत हुई। त्योहारों के इस मौसम में जनता जनार्दन को ये डबल बोनांजा मिला है। आज समय की मांग है, देश की मांग है कि हम स्वदेशी अपनाएं, गर्व से कहें ये स्वदेशी है। हमारा एक ही मंत्र है, नागरिक देवो भव। जिनको कभी किसी ने नहीं पूछा, उसको मोदी पूजता है।
You heard the Prime Minister saying that the revised GST rates reflect his government's mantra of Nagrik Devo Bhava. But for the opposition, the motto seems to be Credit Devo Bhava, because instead of rejoicing the respite that it brings for the Aam Aadmi, India Alliance has brought in the political fireworks even before Diwali. They have accused Prime Minister Modi's government of hijacking credit and hiding 8 years of economic wounds as it rebrands Loot Utsav as Bachat Utsav. In revision, they see admission of guilt.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी लेकिन जब बोल रहे थे तो बार बार मन में ख्याल आ रहा था वो पुराने वाले जीएसटी को कोस रहे थे। तो जब आप पुराने वाले जीएसटी को कोस रहे हैं तो वो किसने लागू किया था? 2017 का जीएसटी तो आप ही ने लागू किया था ना प्रभु, और इसीलिए तो हम उसको गब्बर सिंह टैक्स बुलाते थे।
पहले जीएसटी के फायदे गिनवाए देश को, जीएसटी से ये होगा 55 लाख करोड़ की लूट हुई, खत्म हुई। अब आप उत्सव मना रहे हैं, ये मातम है, ये व्यापारियों की बर्बादी का मातम है। अब
प्रधानमंत्री जी को 8 साल के बाद नींद से जागकर ये बताना पड़ रहा है कि नहीं, अब हम फिर एक क्रांतिकारी परिवर्तन लेके आए हैं। देखिए, हमने जीएसटी कम कर दिया। प्रधानमंत्री जी जो लाखों करोड़ रुपए इस देश की जनता के जेब से टैक्स के नाम पे लूटा गया है, वो पैसा उनके खातों में वापस कीजिए।
सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंटेर कोनो क्रेडिट नहीं। আমি এটা প্রথম দাবি করেছিলাম চিঠি লিখে যে ইন্স্যুরেন্স থেকে জিএসটি তুলে নেওয়া উচিত।
The BJP isn't mincing words. They call it the classic Congress syndrome. And Prime Minister Modi himself flagged it in Arunachal Pradesh today. He called it an inherent habit to abandon anything that's tough and then sneer at those who get the job done. And GST, the BJP says, is the perfect case study. Congress promised it, then dropped the ball, delayed it for a decade later, and even opposing it today. Now, they're not just attacking its implementation, they're also brazenly trying to claim credit for the same Gabbar Singh tax that they condemn.
देखिए, यूपीए के समय में यहाँ था टैक्स, मैंने आपको संख्या बताई। खड़गे जी से पूछिए कि आपके टाइम में सीमेंट का कितना था भाई, टैक्स की रेट कितनी थी? आपके टाइम में सैनिटरी पैड पे कितना टैक्स रेट था? आपके टाइम में फुटवेयर पे कितना टैक्स रेट था? टीवी पे, रेफ्रिजरेटर पे कितना टैक्स रेट था? क्या कहना चाहिए, गब्बर सिंह के भी बड़े दादा कांग्रेस थे।
हमने कभी नहीं कहा कि सब कुछ हमने ही किया। एक ये बुद्धिजीवी व्यक्ति का और बयान है कि ये तो जीएसटी काउंसिल ने किया। अरे भाई, हम कहां कह रहे हैं कि जीएसटी काउंसिल ने किया, नहीं किया। खुशी का माहौल है, त्योहार है, आपका नेता को वो अब्सॉर्ब नहीं कर पा रहे।
So the benefits of GST 2.0 are clearly being credited in the pockets of common man, but who really deserves the political brownie points? Congress may say the UPA had first proposed GST in 2005, and when Pranab Mukherjee tabled the bill in 2011, the BJP opposed it. The truth, however, that it was under the NDA Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee that this tax reform was first initiated. Back in the year 2000, the same party that today wants people to thank them for GST had criticized and even called the boycott of the GST launch in 2017. Today, the Congress president, Mallikarjun Kharge, accused Modi Sarkar of turning India into a one nation, nine taxes regime when the pre-GST regime had actually 17 taxes and 13 cesses added to it. That's 30 in total. In fact, so complex was the tax structure in 2014 that a company found it easier to send goods from Bengaluru to Hyderabad via Europe than directly between the two Indian cities that are just 500 kilometers away from each other. Listen in to the Prime Minister recounting how for decades the country's traders were victims of tax terror.
जब 2014 में देश ने मुझे प्रधानमंत्री पद का दायित्व सौंपा था, तब उसी शुरुआत के दौर में एक विदेशी अखबार में एक दिलचस्प उदाहरण छपा था। उसमें एक कंपनी की मुश्किलों का जिक्र था। उस कंपनी ने कहा था कि अगर उसे बेंगलुरु से 570 किलोमीटर दूर हैदराबाद अपना सामान भेजना हो तो वो इतना कठिन था कि उन्होंने सोचा और उन्होंने कहा कि वो पसंद करती थी कंपनी कि पहले अपना सामान बेंगलुरु से यूरोप भेजे और फिर वही सामान यूरोप से हैदराबाद भेजे। साथियों, टैक्स और टोल के जंजाल की वजह से ये तब के हालात थे।
Now let's come down to the Trinamool Congress. Mamata Banerjee today stated that she deserves the credit for changes in the GST regime as she was the one who saw GST be removed from insurance last year. But now that the changes have been effected, she's not happy. But even as Didi decries loss of revenue and demands compensation, what is she doing to ease the pain of businesses? Her government has withdrawn all incentives granted to industries in her state since 1993. This means 30 years of signed commitments have now been cancelled retrospectively. Is this not a betrayal? And as far as her former party, the Congress party, is concerned, here is one example of their problem-solving techniques. If the need of the hour was conservation of fuel, one of the proposals the UPA government had been considering in 2013 was to shut down petrol pumps between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. And if the problem happens to be rising prices of LPG cylinders, here is a UPA minister's reaction when the price tag crossed rupees 900 for the first time. By the way, 13 years later, the same cylinder costs 837 rupees. But have you heard anybody from the Congress party complimenting that?
ये कैसा रिफॉर्म है जहाँ पे 400 रुपए का सिलेंडर 900 रुपए में हो जाता है, महंगाई बेलगाम बढ़ती जाती है, क्या करें?
आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं कि आप इतने गरीब हैं कि आप 900 रुपये नहीं दे सकते सिलेंडर के लिए? हम गरीबों के लिए है वो। आप क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं कि एलपीजी आम गरीब इस्तेमाल करता है? जब आप चाहते हैं आप गरीब में जुड़ जाते हैं, नहीं तो बड़े अमीर हैं आप। ये बहुत अच्छा तरीका है।
So ladies and gentlemen, I wonder who really must apologize today. And with that, I come to the legitimate question on the Newshour tonight. The benefits of GST 2.0 are undeniable. Is that why the opposition is more desperate for credit than it is happy for citizens of India? That is the question, and that is the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, joining me in the studios tonight. Also joining me this evening, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, scientist. Dare I say, today the GST scientist has been invited to the show. Also joining me this evening, Faizan Kidwai, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Siddharth Sharma, national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Salim Dharnidharan, national spokesperson of the DMK. But my first question goes to Congress leader Sanjay Jha. And Sanjay Jha, if the GST is so bad, then continue calling it Gabbar Singh tax. Don't buy goods which are cheaper today, or don't expect people to buy. Go and start campaigning for people not to buy these daily use goods. Or if you want the credit that GST is your baby, you thought about it, you brought it, and Narendra Modi, the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, was the only one objecting to it, then if you want the credit, then there must be something good that's going on. Please decide. Do you want to slam GST? Do you want the credit for GST? Because the nation of 140 crore people is totally confused tonight.
Navika, good evening to you and to my fellow panelists. You know, the beauty of discussing things like GST is that, there is no politician, no panelist has the opportunity to give tall speeches and rhetoric and hyperbole. So let's get on to numbers very quickly. And your viewers need to know this, that end of day, this government, Navika, suffered from the popcorn syndrome. You remember the ridiculous situation of the multiple slabs of GST taxes on popcorn, flawed. In the hurry to introduce GST, they basically defeated the inherent objective of the GST, right, which was to make it transparent, easy to implement. Now, let me give you a couple of data points. The Congress is right. Over the last 8 years, it's taken 8 years for this government to wake up to the fact that GST is a regressive tax versus inequality, because the poorest man in India pays the same amount of tax on a good or a service like an Ambani or an Adani. Is that your equality statement, Mr. Modi? So far in GST over the last 8 years, rupees 55 lakh crores have been collected. And you look at the data, majority has been paid by the middle class of this country and the poor. Guess what happened in 2019? I'll tell you why this skepticism I have, and I think anybody has, on the GST cuts that have been announced. Let me explain it to you very quickly. Today you have a situation, Navika, where in 2019, the government of Mr. Modi gave a tax break to the corporate sector of 1,50,000 crores. Now that's a direct, literally a direct transfer, and it went to the corporates as a benefit, less tax, and they were expected to invest and create jobs. If that direct did not work, because we see that the private investment is still very sluggish, there is still excess capacity, and jobs have vanished, then here is the fundamental question. How will an indirect benefit on the assumption that demand will go up and therefore corporates will invest more and therefore boost the economy? I think it's an absolutely absurd logic, at least for the short to medium term. And let me explain that to you. If there are no jobs, there are no income. If there is no income, there is no expenditure. If there is no expenditure, where are you going to get the increased demand coming from? And by the way, if you look at the mass goods, and Navika, both of us are from the Gokhale Institute, so I'm going to leverage that relationship or that alumni relationship we have. We all know that mass consumption goods are inelastic. So just because you cut the price on essentials doesn't mean that somebody will use 20 soaps or, drink or have 25 packets of paneer. They are just kind of mass consumption goods. They'll have a marginal increase, if at all, which brings you to the fundamental point that if you look at the debt of the middle class in India today, largely the middle class, on credit cards, loans, house loans, it's aggregating roughly 38% of India's GDP. The Indian household has never had so much of debt. Indian households are in debt. There are no jobs. You have actually reduced corporate income tax as a proportion of direct taxes lower than personal income tax. Personal income tax contributes 53% to our total direct taxes.
Dr. Sanjay Jha,
these are hard numbers.
Since you are invoking the Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, I must say this, that if the late Professor Dandekar heard you today, God rest his soul in peace.
He would be impressed.
He would really be very, very miserable. And not to talk about Professor Neelkanth, V.S. Chitre, Venkata Ramanan, who actually made the national income model in this country. You know, if they heard you today, I don't know what they would say. But Shehzad Poonawalla, he says that, you know, for 8 years you've robbed the country. Then haven't they robbed the country for longer? Because 2004 they came to power, 2005 they thought about GST, 2011 they tabled it, but never saw it through. How long have they robbed the country by not bringing in GST? Number one. Number two, also are 30 taxes like sales, octroi, local taxes extra that was there on every printed foil of everything we bought. Was that better or was GST better? Can you please explain to Dr. Sanjay?
I will begin by giving a caveat that I have heard Sanjay Jha without uttering even one word, and I hope he will maintain the same decorum in the process of this debate. On the one hand, as we begin Navratra and we are worshipping Ma Durga's 9 avatars, and the final avatar had done away with the asur of, evil, just like that we have eliminated corruption and inefficiency over the last 11 years. Look, on the one hand, before Diwali and Chhat Puja, we have Bachat Utsav, but Congress is on its Nakaratmakta, Gali and Credit Utsav. He has started off by saying that kya bach raha hai logon ke haath mein, so let me give you facts and figures, but in a poetic form first. Sasta hua roti, kapda, makan, soap, shampoo, oil ho ya AC, car ho कदरदान, ट्रैक्टर से लेकर फर्टिलाइजर ट्यूब पर भी छूट मिली है तो किसान भी गदगदा रहा है किसान. हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस हो, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस हो, जीएसटी फ्री हो गई है. अब डोंट फॉरगेट दैट दिस इज ऑल बीइंग डन फॉर भाई बंधु एंड भाईजान. एंड जब भारत कभी भी खुशी मनाता है तो क्यों नकारात्मकता से परेशान होते असुर टाइप लोग? That is something that is beyond me. Let me tell you, groceries from 1 lakh rupee if a person is spending, a family spending, now there will be 92,000 rupees spending, 8,000 rupees are going to be saved. Essential items, 60,000 rupees is spending, now it will be 54,000, 6,000 rupees saved. Clothing and footwear, 50,000 rupees is the spending, today it will come down to 47,000, 3,000 rupees saved. Health and life insurance, right from 90,000 rupees, it will come down to 76,000. That means yearly saving of 13,000 rupees. Medicines, 36,000. Majority of the 33 important medicines have been made GST free. And that will result in thousands of rupees of savings. Stationery, 24,000. That will come down to 20,000. If you are buying a tractor worth 10 lakh rupees, the Kisan will save 60,000 rupees directly. If you are buying a small car within 1500 cc, you will save up to 1.5 lakh rupees. If you are buying a bike and scooter, you will save up to 22,000 rupees. If you are buying your first television set of 32 inches or more, you will save up to 3,500, 4,000 rupees. You are buying an AC, you will save up to 2,000, 3,000 rupees. Now all of this is direct savings. It's not the first time. We have increased the tax slab to 12 lakh rupees. That was not done before. You had to pay tax on 2 lakh rupee income. Now you have to pay tax on 12 lakh rupee income. Then 12% inflation used to be there. Today it is 2% inflation, and now this GST bonanza. By the way, Sanjay Jha, who's cribbing about multiple taxes or multiple rates of popcorn, there were multiple rates of every product in every state. Cement was on an average tax of 30%. Today it's 18%. Sanitary pads were at 14 to 15%. Today it's at 0%. Television sets were at 32%. Today it's at 18%. Detergent, shampoo, coffee, toothpaste, water, cosmetics, all of these were above 25-30%. Today they're at 5 or 12%. Fertilizer was at 12 or 18%. Okay. Today it's at 5%. So my point is that all of these things have been done, but the Congress party, and he's saying that I wanted Rahul Gandhi and Congress party is thinking about the poor. Rahul Gandhi had advocated for one GST rate. That means they wanted to go back to the era where Mercedes and milk had the same rate. Rahul Gandhi in 2017 said that I want 18% GST rate. So if we had Mr. Sanjay Jha as the economic thinker of this country, he would charge Mercedes and milk at the same rate.
Okay, Navika, a quick response. I won't take too long. Number one, Mr. Modi is making his speeches and he's writing letters. You can see the political desperation. 800 million people of this country are on free food grains. 38% is India's household debt. who are they really expecting are going to buy these? Yes, some people will benefit by buying those lower value cars and motorcycles. I concede that point. But to believe that this will increase the Indian economic performance and a turnaround, I think this is fallacious. He's playing it for the Bihar elections. If ideally such a scale of change should have been announced in the budget, why did you not announce
but
it in the budget?
GST has nothing to do with the budget, my friend. The GST is a council of finance ministers of all states, and that has got nothing to do with budget. No longer are custom rates or petrol prices announced in the budget. So, Sanjay Jha, fallacious for you to expect this to come in the budget.
Just one line. Is he saying that this is intended for Bihar? Is he saying that the finance minister of Karnataka, Telangana, Himachal all played along so that we could score a point in Bihar? Who's stopping you and your... One second, sir, don't interrupt. Sir, don't interrupt. Sir, don't interrupt, sir. Let me complete my... Sanjay, I let you complete your point. Let me complete my point. Who's stopping... Ma'am, this is so unfair.
You go on.
Who has stopped you from claiming credit that your finance ministers were part of the GST council? Secondly, Sanjay Jha, 25 crore people have been lifted out of poverty in the last 11 years. Inequality or inequality has been at an all-time low. The World Bank report has come out that the Gini coefficient has improved over the last 11 years. By the way, we are having the lowest inflation, lowest NPAs. We are having the highest foreign exchange reserves, highest FDI, highest growth rate. These are the people who said that the Indian economy would never reach 5% growth rate.
Shehzad Poonawalla, I would request you also to not get, completely blown away by just the numbers, because we know we live in difficult times. Every day there is a H1B visa shock or a tariff shock that's coming. So let's not pretend we are in a very rosy, cushioned world. So let's recognize where the problem is.
Ma'am, the H1B visa issue, which will affect about 2.5 lakh people, and by the way, it was fake news that the people who existing visas will be affected by it. Please tell me that is that the reason why we should not give the relief to the common man of this country?
Certainly not.
To the farmers of this country?
Certainly not. I'm not connecting that to this. However, I'm saying that just don't go painting MF Hussain of everything being extremely rosy. But
I anyways don't consider him to be a worthy painter.
All right. Faizan Kidwai, let me ask you if GST rates are reduced, why is the opposition up in arms calling it chapat, calling it tamacha, and Imran Masood has called it matam? Aisa kya matam ho gaya? Just because you think it's a right time, the prices will come down and therefore a popular move, is that why it becomes a time for matam for the opposition? Like, really?
Navika, first of all, happy Navratri to you and to the fellow panelists and to all your viewers.
Thank you.
See, what Mr. Modi has done, instead of talking to the people and addressing pressing issues like the recent issues of 50% tariff that has been imposed on India, or the H1B visa issue, Mr. Modi did again what he's known to do best, that is gimmickry. After looting Indians for 8 years for around 55 lakh crores, he says, I am giving you 2.5 lakh crores back. So, baki ka 52.5 lakh crore bacha hai, he should return that also. See, this GST of Mr. Narendra Modi, aka government stealing tax regime, which bothered people because he was taxing us on essentials like milk, curd, butter, medicines, health insurance, and pathetically even on sanitary pads. Imagine, Navika. So this caused a lot of GST to the people also. That is great stress to the taxpayers. But finally, because of the mounting pressures from Samajwadi Party and India Bloc, Mr. Narendra Modi decided that he will take back this GST. And Mr. Narendra Modi did it, but it was accompanied by a lot of gimmickry. Shehzad was talking about Mr. Modi has taken 25 crore people out of poverty. Please kindly give me that data to support your argument, because I have a data which says in 2025 per capita income of Indians is around $2,878. So if you add roughly around 6 people in a family, that means hardly 3,000 to 3,500 rupees per person in a household. What can an individual do in 3,500? You please tell me.
I have one doubt from the point you made. Point you made, I'm sorry, I'm the moderator. I get to ask you a question. I did not understand one point, sir. Can you explain it? Can you explain it to me? You said pressure from Akhilesh Yadav made Modi Sahab and his government to roll back the GST rate. आपकी तो कोई सरकार भी नहीं है. So there is no finance minister of yours in the GST council. Can you please explain to this country how this pressure came around?
Yes, ma'am, I'll tell you. See, Akhilesh Yadav is the most popular leader in Uttar Pradesh, and we are the third largest party in India as of now. So there are a lot of people who follow Akhilesh Yadav, and when Akhilesh Yadav speaks, people listen. When we are constantly voicing the opinion of the people, the grievances of the people, that people are suffering because of the GST you have imposed on us. So people, this pressure that Akhilesh Yadav was constantly questioning the central government for its failures and the state government of Mr. Adityanath. So that will definitely mount pressure on the incompetent Prime Minister, the incompetent Chief Minister and the incompetent government of India and the government of Uttar Pradesh at large. तो वहां से लोगों के लिए कुछ भला हुआ. Now, since you interrupted me, let me complete this point. Mr. Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party people take pride in saying that they are giving free ration to 82 crore people. That means they don't have jobs. This is an India Today report, Navika. By 25 lakh aspirants, highly qualified, they were PhDs, MSCs, BTechs, people from IIT and IIM. They applied for 53,000 pune jobs in Rajasthan. Would anybody, a sane person who's highly educated, apply for a pune job? No, they'll only do that when there's mass unemployment. This is what is happening in India.
All right. Okay. All right. Heard you. Anand, I'll come to you, Shehzad, but getting in Dr. Anand Ranganathan first. Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Litany of charges, but please respond.
Good evening, Navika, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Litany of charges or litany of fake news. And this is what I humbly plead with you every time कि मुझे पहले लाके खत्म करके फेंक दिया करिएगा, क्योंकि जब तक मेरी टर्न आती है इतनी फेक न्यूज फैला दी जाती है कि पहले उसको काउंटर करना पड़ता है. दो चीजें. नंबर वन, फैजान भाई टॉक्स अबाउट कि भाई ये मल्टी डायमेंशनल पॉवर्टी जो 29% से 11% रिडक्शन आया है, 250 million, in fact he's wrong, 270 million people have been pulled out of poverty. Shehzad is absolutely right. Fazan bhai should read about the multi-dimensional poverty indices of national and international repute. So this is something that has been corroborated time and again. India has indeed pulled 250 million people out of multi-dimensional poverty in the last 11 years. Number one. Number two, my good friend Sanjay Jha yet again is throwing this bogey around that there have been no jobs. Now, can I just say one thing? If there is one entity on which there is only one slab of GST, and that slab is 0% GST, it is on hypocrisy. Let me explain. Hypocrisy पे GST है ही नहीं. ये claims report होती है, and you are economist and Sanjay, my good friend, is economist, they would know. It's an independent corroborated report that is financed by the RBI. It was initiated by the UPA, by Dr. Manmohan Singh. It has been cited till the time UPA was there for those 5 years, time and again. Everyone believes the claims report. Now I ask him humbly, if the same claims report last year comes up with the figure that last year 46 million jobs were created, why suddenly you are saying no jobs were created? The same claims report that UPA started, you suddenly decide that you're not going to believe. Now that is unfair. Number two, the fact of the matter is that if you look at even the GST, you are saying, well, Congress started these reforms. Well, it started in a very different manner, which even Narendra Modi opposed, because it's a destination-based tax. Whatever it may be, it still remains a destination-based tax, but the compensation was the point of, basically disagreement. Be that as it may. Can I just say, why does the Congress never take credit for Narendra Modi bringing in the 3 farm laws? Given that those 3 farm laws verbatim were not in the BJP manifesto, were not promised by the BJP, but were promised by the Congress. Rahul's manifesto of 2019, point number 11, 19, 23, verbatim. Those 3 farm laws were there. In fact, the 3rd farm law was initiated already as a tax, as an act in erstwhile Congress regime of Punjab, the corporate, the farming act. Now, final point, and this is very important. You have my good friend Salem from the DMK. there is no GST on fuel. DMK and TMC, allies, India Alliance allies and Congress supported, wanted GST on fuel. It is another matter I also wanted, BJP also wanted, and now unfortunately it's not there. But the fact of the matter is the state levy and earn 4 lakh crores every year, approximately, center as well 4 lakh crores, by taxing the fuel. Now can I please ask Salem, why is he against GST on fuel? Because he stands to lose 2 lakh crores, number one. And number two, when Chief Minister Stalin said that only greedy people, only the elite are basically benefiting from processing Russian oil and selling Russian oil, why does he forget that Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited is right now processing 80,000 barrels per day for the last 2.5 years of Russian oil and is selling locally 40,000 barrels per day? It is Stalin. Is he greedy? Is he elite? I don't know, he might be. Who is benefiting directly from Russian oil?
Salim Dharnidharan, please respond to Anand Ranganathan. Straight pointed question to you.
On hypocrisy.
Mr. Dharnidharan.
Oh, I thank you for asking this question, because this is what we also been saying, including my Chief Minister. So firstly, I'll go and answer further. In 2021 itself, my Chief Minister said the money should be put in hands of the poor, thereby GST, taxes on GST should be reduced, and any indirect taxes, including excise duty on fuel, should be reduced. After Modi has come to power, excise duty on fuel...
How much have you reduced? Excise duties, how much have you reduced?
You have increased it.
Wait. No, both of you are wrong. I'll tell you why. Tamil Nadu, the excise duty is directly linked to the duty of the union government. So the union government, excise duty on fuel will increase, corroborately will increase. That's how it is in Tamil Nadu. When the union government duty would reduce, it automatically reduce. Wow. You can go and check the formula. It is a part of 0.3% of the union excise duty. Wow. That is the formula for Tamil Nadu.
Now this is not a fact, and lies per to GST hai nahi. Can you please discount
Navika,
this?
first of all, excise duty is cut by... Please, Mr. Salim Dharnidharan, I have not interrupted you.
Can I comment?
Navika, can I please complete?
Yes, please clarify this point.
Navika, first of all, it is the center that applies or cuts the excise duty. The states have to cut VAT. And by the way, all the BJP ruled states cut VAT, but states like Karnataka, Himachal, Telangana and Tamil Nadu did not cut their VAT. In fact, Himachal, they said we will give the cheaper petrol and diesel to the farmers. They increased 7 rupees on diesel. In Karnataka, from A to Z, everything, the prices have been increased. You know, the stamp duty, the electricity, water, health charges, the railway, the bus charges, the metro rail charges, the garbage collection charges, and what are they getting in return? Potholes. Not one instance can they show that their pressure has been applied on their own government to reduce prices. They are applying pressure on the central government, and the central government is giving relief after relief. Now, one big fact point.
No, it's not true.
To be done. 1 second. Mr. Kidwai said that the per capita income is very low. It has doubled in the last 11 years. What was it when the SP was supporting the UPA government? Point number 2, there was always tax on milk, curds, on issues on things like diagnostic kits, on tractor tires. In fact, it was much higher when there were different taxes of the states. Today, all of this has been reduced to 0% or 5%. And that is the point. For instance, let me tell you, even cycles were at 16 to 20%. आप तो cycle चलाते होंगे, Mr. Kidwai. आज वो 5% पे आ चुका है. Shampoo, and now Mr. Sanjay, I don't know what kind of economist he's saying, that if the shampoos and the soap and the oil, if the tax is low, it doesn't make much difference in the demand for it. Sir, if it is at 28% and now it is at 5%, the person who could not afford it first will now start purchasing it. That means there will be increase in the production. There will be increase in the production, means more jobs will be created. And that job will be created.
And not just that, you haven't heard about opportunity cost, Sanjay Jha. You know, if they were earlier buying soaps or paisa khatam ho jata tha, they could not buy other things. Today, if it is cheaper, they will buy soaps and buy something else. Something else also to for the family consumption. But Sanjay Jha, you want to dumb it down to I don't know what. But I want to ask a basic question. Now this economics I have not understood. 55 lakh crore rupees in 8 years Modi has stolen from the people. Now he has reduced 2.5 lakh crore, so he has to repay 52.5 lakh crore. That's what Faizan Kidwai says. तो इतने सालों से जो आप लोगों ने हम लोगों से common people say, excise, sales tax, local tax, octroi, VAT, ये सब लिया है, ये कब वापस कर रहे हैं सर, बताएंगे जरा?
Yeah, Navika, let me give you a quick answer. Very rich of the BJP to give us a lecture on pricing of GST when they used to even tax people on cancer drugs and on life insurance and health premium. But let me answer your question, Navika.
What was the system before GST? Please tell us that.
1 minute now. You don't.
Before GST, was it tax-free?
Navika,
yes or no?
No. Navika,
in fact, the GST rate has been decided by your finance minister.
1 minute. Navika,
so you tell your finance minister what he was doing.
In the GST council.
Okay.
Listen, don't try and be clever by half.
Arey sir, so has he given in writing?
Navika,
tell me one statement of one finance minister in writing.
Navika, let me answer your question. The truth is that over the last several years, haven't you heard them all gloat? Our GST collections hit a record. I mean, that was the height of shamelessness. You were taking money from the ordinary people of India and you were allowing the direct taxes to the corporate sector.
So then please answer to me. No, Sanjay Jha, your turn towards communism really is touching. Tell me, tell me before this, when there was no GST, were Adani and Ambani paying some other prices and were common men paying some other prices? If they bought it in India, they paid the same prices, same taxes as the common people. Or suddenly something new has begun to happen, Anand Ranganathan. You know, are we dumbing it down? Are we really trying to confuse people? And is there even some level of argument that we can get from the opposition?
Navika, look at fuel prices as an example. We gave the best fuel prices to the common man despite high cost of import of crude oil. Look at how the BJP government has done. Sorry, Anand, all your time. Go ahead.
Well, no. If you were doing that, my friend, then, after the center reduced the excise rates, all states governed by the Congress party should have reduced, which they haven't done. So please don't... give me this argument. No, please do not give me this argument because frankly it makes me angry and does not really give you any legitimacy in terms of the argument.
I want to thank Sanjay Jha. You know why I want to thank Sanjay Jha? Sanjay Jha has called all his... 1 second, sir. Sir, please stop interrupting. It's only 20 seconds I'm getting. I want to thank Sanjay Jha because today he is screaming and saying that all my governments are the people who are doing tax terrorism and chori. GST is not going into Modi ji's and BJP's pockets. Half of it went to the states, and even the other center share, the 41% was being devolved to the states. Highest share as per the 15th Finance Commission. Before it was only 31%. For instance, let me give you a figure. In 2004 to 14, Karnataka got 1,42,000 by way of devolution and grant in aids. You know how much that figure is to Karnataka now in the last 10 years? 5,35,000 crores. This is the increase of the money that was given to states like Karnataka after the GST regime. And Mr. Sanjay Jha, I challenge you to tell me, all the items you recounted, what was the taxation rate when the states were collecting different taxes? For instance, please tell me the taxation rate on cement. Tell me the cement taxation rate in
30+%. But let me get in Siddharth Sharma. No, my friend Siddharth Sharma from the Aam Aadmi Party hasn't got an opportunity yet. And we are being unfair. Anand, aa rahi hu. Please indulge me. Respond after Siddharth Sharma ji. Otherwise, he's going to throw me out of the studio here. Siddharth Sharma ji. आपको क्या दिक्कत हो गई? आम आदमी को तो बचत हो रही है, थोड़े डिस्काउंट मिल रहे हैं. आम आदमी की पार्टी को क्या दिक्कत हो गई?
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. नंबर 11 बैट्समैन को अगर बैटिंग का चांस भी आपने दे दिया तो फिर उसको कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. एक्चुअली हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. इनफैक्ट हमें दिक्कत है कांग्रेस के एलिटिज्म से. कांग्रेस आई थिंक इज डिसॉर्टेड विद सेइंग इट गेव मी a 5-course meal 20 years ago. Now, will that meal work for me today? It doesn't work. So I think Congress should get out of its elitism. The Prime Minister, on the other hand, in his address called GST as an Utsav starting today dawn. Now, Utsav means celebration. Now, I didn't wake up this morning to any cacophony of cracker burst on the streets celebrating this Utsav. This clearly means that the people are seeing through this charade of robbing Peter to pay Paul. When you call an 8-year-old long overdue overhaul as a reform, people start seeing that pakhand as 8 साल तक जो लूट की आज से उसमें छूट दी. And it was very nice to see the BJP spokesperson go where even the Pradhanji feared to tread yesterday. Pradhanji was deafeningly silent on his friend, my dear Dolan. If Trump has hoisted tariffs on India, when will India hoist reciprocal tariffs on Trump? If Trump has tightened visa rules, when will Pradhanji call back the 25% Indian scientists working in NASA? When will he order our Silicon Valley honchos to come back from an insulting land back to Vishwaguru Bharat? Is he going to do that? Why was he deafeningly silent on that? It was nice that the BJP spokesperson decided to tread.
Siddharth शर्मा जी, now I don't know, आप थोड़ा सा कंसल्टेशन अपने पार्टी चीफ से कर लीजिए, IIT वाले हैं, शायद समझा देंगे that all the Indians working there are working there on their own free will. They are not in some government job and government has posted them to NASA. When they want to leave and come, they will come. When they want to go, they will go, and they will have to be determined by the laws of the land that exists there. That it is a problem, yes, we all know. But you are making it sound as if Prime Minister Narendra Modi has to solve even that problem. Anand Ranganathan, please respond. Anand Ranganathan, please respond.
140 crore Indians living in India, and it doesn't apply to the H1B visa.
Navika, Siddharth, please, I did not interrupt you. In fact, I gave you my time.
Taken by the Mishwa, no?
Okay, all right. Anand Ranganathan responding.
Navika. Yeah, thank you. Siddharth ji, I did not interrupt you. मैंने अपना टाइम आपको दे दिया क्योंकि आप मेरे छोटे भाई की तरह हैं. देखिए, अब थोड़ा दानवीर आप भी बनिए. आम आदमी पार्टी से थोड़ी सीधी यहाँ दे.
बैटिंग कर लिया,
नाविका,
to kindly respond to Shehzad.
अरे सुन लीजिए please. Navika, please, can I continue this? Because I can't see the panel, unfortunately, so there's a lot of disturbance here. I will very quickly end within 30 seconds. I will give you 3 facts. These are irrefutable facts. We can either go by facts or we can either go by Rahul Gandhi. The choice is yours. The fact is that the BJP under Narendra Modi, please hear me out, is taxing goods less. The BJP is giving more money to the states. The BJP has created more jobs according to the institution set up by the UPA Clem's report than the UPA ever did. The inflation is at a 7-year low. If you were to remove 0.01%, then it is at a 25-year low. These are irrefutable facts. Now I want to ask fact-based questions to my good friend Salem again. Why, when he was for GST on fuel, why now he is against GST on fuel?
That is because politics changes on a daily basis, even if taxes don't, Anand Ranganathan, and that is the problem of our opposition parties. If there was a constructive debate, one would have gained a lot. But we don't gain anything from this criticism because somebody is calling it loot, choot, chapat, tamacha, matam. You know, this really doesn't take us anywhere. And we conducted a poll. GST 2.0 is equal to savings. Opposition more desperate for credit than happy for citizens? Yes, say 64%. No, say 30%. Can't say 7%. So, ladies and gentlemen, as far as people are concerned, they probably looking at their lighter pockets and better, heavier wallets. Cheaper goods in this festive season clearly bringing some cheer. As the days pass, we'll know more. But for the opposition to be bad losers, to want to criticize the lowering of GST as well as take credit for GST. Now, there can be nothing more contradictory than this. Should we say the opposition is confused? What do you think? Do write in to us.